Hey team, now I used to believe that you couldn't build strong, athletic, well-rounded legs without the use of a barbell or leg press. Just could not be done. And once again, I'm swallowing humble pie. I was wrong. It turns out that there are a few things that when tweaked and executed in the right way, they do build your legs, both in regards to performance and aesthetically. So I've done some digging and I've refined these methods into my 4 top tips to help you build your legs, both in regards to strength, performance, aesthetically, without the use of a barbell or leg press, or in fact any weights machine. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jim Galvin. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando Team GB athlete and Guinness World Record holder, and on this channel we explore all things training, nutrition, biohacking and ancestral living that can help busy people just like you cut through the myths and actually do what you need to do to improve your fitness, health, your performance and your physique. And today I want to share with you my 4 top tips for how you can build strong, athletic, well-rounded legs without the use of a single barbell, leg press, or any weights machine. So let's get cracking. Luckily, there are lots of options. So while we have these options, we might as well vary the resistance type. Okay, firstly, as mentioned, we do not need a barbell, but we do need some kind of added resistance, guys. Our body weight alone, for you strong legends out there, is not going to be enough to elicit a muscle building effect. And luckily there are a lot of options out there. So while we have these options, we might as well vary the resistance type. Even if we look at a couple here, guys, we're looking at resistance band, we're looking at dumbbells, or a sandbag is another great example and great versatile tool. All the standard movement patterns can be executed with, as an example, a sandbag. I mean, right here now we're showing you squats, lunges. There's RDLs here, Romanian deadlifts with a slight bend at the knee and just hinging from the hips. Step ups. All of these movements, as you see, guys, can be done with either a sandbag, a dumbbell, or a band. These are all the static, standard weightlifting movement patterns, right? And all can be done with other implements. You do not need a barbell to work on these, and you do not need a barbell to build strength and to build the aesthetics of your legs if you get the weights right. But with that being said, if we are varying the type of implement that you're using, why do we not also vary the movement pattern itself? That leads us to our second top tip. Try throwing in some pushes, some drags, some pulls, and some carries in there. We have prowler sleds, guys, for pushing, pulling, and dragging. For anyone who thinks that these do not burn your quads, you have clearly never flipping used one of these things. They are an absolute lactic killer. You want to get a leg pump, in my opinion. Doesn't matter if you're looking at sissy squats, doesn't matter what you're looking at. There's nothing quite like a prowler sled to just dump a massive amount of blood and lactic acid into your legs. Phenomenal way of getting a pump, and you'll never feel as though you've worked your legs quite like it. In addition to pushing the sled, you can also drag, obviously with the slings that we've got here, one hand in each handle, and simply lean forward and drag that way. Or pulling backwards is also another option. Really burns your VMOs, which is the little kind of teardrop shaped muscle just above your kneecap. That specifically is what you're going to be working here, and it does start to burn after a while. Farmer's walks are also a great option too, both with proper handles, as you see here, or even the one-tongue slings that you just saw on the prowlers there. It's a little bit less comfortable and a little bit more of a faff to set up, and they're falling all over the shop and stuff, but they are a hell of a lot cheaper, they're a lot lighter, and they're a lot more mobile as well. Or, depending on the weight of the sandbag, just a walking carry can be putting a lot of load through your lower body and therefore still eliciting a strength and muscle building effect. That leads us on to tip number 3. Now this is a little bit controversial, but bear with me for a minute. I'm actually a massive fan of implementing both full range and half range variations for single leg exercises. And the reason is this. We know that doing full range exercises, especially when they're single leg, are great for building stability and shape of your legs. So these should absolutely be incorporated into our program now. But the fact of the matter is we can lift more towards the top end of the range. So if we can do, as an example, a step up with a 30 kilo dumbbell or sandbag at full range, but 100 kilos at half range, why would we not implement both into our program and get more of a strength benefit at the top end? We would not want to only work half range stuff, obviously, so there's no strength when the knees are at a slightly more acute angle. We don't want that. We do want to work full range stuff, but it makes sense, right? If we can lift so much more at half range, it makes sense to me to just incorporate both into your lower body program. Obviously, this applies with step-ups, as I just explained, but it also applies with lunges, guys. I'm a big fan of standard lunges at a certain weight, but then maybe also dropping the weight a little bit and doing a deficit lunge. So you're actually raising that front foot, which allows you to get a little bit more of an acute angle at both the ankle, the knee, and the hip on that front leg. And this leads us seamlessly onto tip number 4, guys. The fact that in pretty much every movement we are so much stronger at the top end of the movement is what's called our natural strength curve. And we can actually use tools to work alongside our natural strength curve, namely in the form of chains, or probably a little bit more accessible, resistance bands. These obviously do offer resistance, but a lot less at the bottom of the range rather than at the top, when, as an example, the band is stretched out a lot more at the top of the movement. Now, for those of you that have been training and lifting for more than a year, I imagine that's most of you here, a resistance band on its own is not going to be offering enough extra resistance to actually elicit a muscle building benefit, but the good news is that we effectively can just stack it with the other stuff that we've been looking at. Stacking it with either a sandbag or dumbbells, as you are seeing here, would be a great way to develop both strength and size and shape and the performance of your lower body. Guys, ensuring that I find ways of training that is both fun and creative and engaging and still give us the results that we're looking for is what we're all about here. We all love the results that training and living well give us, but it makes sense that we do it in a way that allows us to enjoy the process as well. And I recently did an explanatory video on how to keep getting a strength and muscle building benefit just from different ways of hacking one of the most common movements out there, and that's the push-up. Doesn't matter how strong your upper body is, a couple of tiny little tweaks to the way that you do push-ups or press-ups, depending on where you are watching this, there are ways to make sure that you continue to get stronger and you continue to build decent quality chest and tricep muscle if you do these things in the right way. If you did enjoy this video today, guys, please do make sure you click on this link and watch that one as well. Have an amazing day, guys. Please do make sure you subscribe so you are the first to see all the amazing content that we have coming up for you. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay awesome. Peace.